election as strongly as we did the last one.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, let's shift gears for a minute, Tim, because we started to dabble in it. NATO this week, the meeting, and of course the mainstream media and the liberals and the Democrats went off the rails crying about the president going after that. You know, since when is it a crime to tell the truth? That's all the president is doing. He's going there and telling the truth.
Well, let's go back to the wrestling image or any athletic endeavor. When a team is committed to working together toward a common project, that's winning, and doing what's necessary to cover your position or cover your part when you're on the mat, and do it for the team, and you have some of your players that decide we're going to participate fully, and other players who say, well, we're not, and you have one player that goes rogue and decides to join the actual other team.
Yeah, buy a will from them.
Say? The coach would come at halftime or when you come off the mat, and he'd say, what in the world are you doing? We committed to working this together toward a successful conclusion, and we said that the whole team would work together. We'd play our positions, and you're not doing that. In fact, you waltzed across Germany to the other side, and you're playing with the common enemy that we have and putting the rest of the team at jeopardy. I mean, all Trump was doing was talking adult language, I think in a very respectful fashion, but firm, and saying, this NATO agreement isn't worth the paper it's written on if we're not going to stand together.
Yeah,
and I'm going to call out the players who aren't paying their fair share, and because they haven't, really what we ought to now be paying is 4% of GDP for each nation. And when you think of little Estonia, who was told, the Prime Minister of Estonia, when I visited with him 2 years ago in Tallinn, in Estonia, the capital, and he said, you know, we joined NATO, and we pay our full 2%, and we know that that's not all that much. We're a small country, and we know that Russia could run over us in an afternoon, but we want to be part of NATO. We want the protection of NATO, and so if we want the protection, we're going to pay our fair share and put the troops that we have on the playing field for the best possible outcome. That's what Germany ought to be doing in other countries. And when you have America paying almost 70% of all of the NATO funds, doggone it, we have a right to stand up on our hind legs and say, listen, get with the program, or this NATO thing isn't going to work.
Well, Germany doesn't have the money. They're spending it all on immigrant social services.
Yeah. So this is what I don't understand why Germany would not have done something like, all right, Russia, you want a pipeline, you want us to buy 70% of our natural gas from you? We'll do that on these conditions. A, take all those troops away from the border, move them somewhere else. And B, get the hell out of Ukraine.
Get out of Ukraine.
And, you know, if you're going to do it, the greatest weapon in the world is economics, right? We all know that. It's the money. Money talks everything. And why couldn't they have just said something as simple like, we don't like the way you're acting, pull your troops out of Ukraine, act civilized, and then we'll do business with you?
And the whole point of us, as well.
The whole point of us fracking, the whole point of us generating as much natural gas as we are, and then setting up the compressor plants so that we can ship it overseas, was to free Europe from Russia. I'm just shocked to hear this.
Right. They ought to be buying it from us, if anything, and doing exactly what you said with Russia. And you're not getting the rest of that pipeline put in until you agree to it and show by action. But they didn't do that, and so now they put Estonia, Latvia, the rest of the
Poland.
They're at risk.
Yeah,
Poland at risk, and these countries are paying their share.
Yeah, so it's mind-boggling for, on the one hand, to see Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi saying Donald Trump is in the bag with Putin, blah blah blah, shouldn't be meeting with him. And the very morning that he chastises Germany, he's trashing Putin's most important project in Europe.
Yeah.
And yet these idiot hypocrites in the Democratic Party think, get your story straight, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, please.
Yeah, well, their story is whatever they need to try to trash Trump and the conservative movement and the deplorables, of which we are three, unless there's another one in the room.
Derek's across the hall.
We are three deplorables, and they can smell us. and they don't like
At Walmart's, yeah.
Well, that's it. So, Tim, give us an update. It's election year. You're up for election this year. How are you doing on the ground out here? You doing all right? You feeling semi-comfortable?
Well, yeah, I'm feeling good. We've done all that we ought to be doing as a representative. We've held 40 live town halls. We've had to stop those because there's a certain date that before the primary you have to go dark. You can't use any of your office holder funds to put an ad in the paper or on the radio to announce that you're going to have a town hall. So we've been kind of blacked out there. So we're doing other things and getting out and about the community. But we've done all our work. We've listened to people, even those that were screaming at us. And based upon that, I think it should be a good outcome. But it means that we work right through the election in November.
Yeah, because I'll be honest with you. I don't even know what Democrat is running against you this time around. I haven't seen hide nor hair. Not an ad, nothing.
She's trying to stay very low. She has a primary opponent. He is a Bernie Sanders guy. He's a Democrat socialist. And he's out there. And so if she comes out, she's going to have to move further left. She's going to have to let it out how liberal she is. So she's trying to stay underground right now and hopefully win the primary, not cause any major battles between herself and her opponent's forces, and come that way. But in the end, she is at the very least, a Nancy Pelosi Democrat, a Chuck Schumer Democrat, given over to the Democrat Party, fundraised by the Democrat Party, and boy, they know how to fundraise, that's for sure. There's a lot of money being dropped by Soros and others coming against guys like me and Mike Bishop, etc. But in the end, the same American people that gave a resounding yes to our platform last time, I think will be there to do the same.
Okay, great. Well, put a plug in to Mike Bishop for us, too. We'd love to he's my congressman now, Tim. I lost you when I moved.
Well,
it's all right. We'll still have you on the air.
That hurts me. You can move back. We are mobile.
I had to get
into
nothing
personal. It had nothing to do with you, Tim.
I hate losing my congressman, Tim. That sucks. But anyways, Tim, give us your website one more time because it is campaign season, and I want to encourage people to help you out.
Well, for people on the official issues they want to go to, it's walberg.house.gov. You can email me the fastest way right through that. We have an email link. You can keep up with what's going on. If you want to get on my weekly newsletter that comes out by email once a week, we can't use it for anything else. You can go online there, too, and get that. But for campaign purposes, it's walbergforcongress.com.
Okay, great. Well, thank you again, Tim. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Let's keep liberty moving.
You got it. Thanks, Tim. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, folks. Next week, yeah, it was great. Great show. So go to thedailydrift.com, and until next week, have a good one.
See you.